Hello and welcome to Three Sides of the Cube with my take on LVO and how I did. I was hoping to do a little better than I did, but you know, it was actually really good games, all of them. I placed out of, I don't know how many, over 1,000 players, I was 63rd. So 663. I was hoping to be in the top 500, but hey, that's how it goes. I was packing the AdMech this time around. There were very few AdMech players out there, and I understood why. There were a lot of negatives for the AdMech that got fixed in the latest update, but that update did not get sent to LVO, and it really showed. The biggest takeaway I got from it is the AdMech secondaries were terrible. It was really hard to get a lot of those secondaries this tournament, and I kind of wish the update got put through. It would have made things a little bit better. I think I could have won some games, but for the most part, I think I outplayed all of my opponents. But in the end, it was a matter of points, and the points were kind of crucial in the secondary objectives. For the primary objectives, I usually scored more than my opponent. But getting those secondaries was like pulling teeth, and it was really hard to get, and I wish I could have done better. But overall, the games, my first game was against Drukhari, my second game was against Tyranids, my third game was against Imperial Knights, my fourth game was against Adeptus Mechanicus, and my fifth game was against Drukhari again, and then my sixth game was against Chaos Knights. I won my games against the Imperial Knights and the second game of Drukhari. In those games with the Imperial Knights, he didn't stand much of a chance against me. I got, I think, a full 100. I think I wrote 97 down in the tournament, but I actually scored the perfect 100 on that one. I managed to concentrate fire and take out a lot of his knights in round 1 and 2, and by round 3 he almost had no knights left, and it really hurt him. So it was unrecoverable, and I took the game. The second Drukhari game I also won, and he really did just spread out all over the board, and I was quite fun shooting everything and jumping my robots right into his guys, and he didn't expect that, and he suffered because of it, and I got another perfect game from that one. But the other game's not so hot. I also like to point out that the only 2 games I won were the only 2 games that I went second on. Every other game I went first, and that hurt me a lot because it made me have to expose all my units in order to get into the positions to grab the really hard to get secondary objectives. And it put me out there, and he came out of cover because the biggest strategy in the first turn is to hide your guys behind cover, and they had all their guys behind cover. I had nothing to shoot in my first turn, and after I got out of there, they came out and they started shooting and charging me, and there wasn't really much I could do after that. AdMech are really a 1-2 round army. They have to get their punches out in those first 2 rounds and really hurt the enemy, because once the enemy reaches them, they usually get torn apart. So having that first turn actually did not work out for me. You would think having the first turn you get those shots out. Well, there's nothing to shoot in the first round. And so that not getting that first round was probably the biggest killer of my my tournament. And these new rules make that a little bit different, but again, this tournament didn't pan out well. As I said, the 2 games I won, they were because I got second turn. Just worked out that way. It works out. They're very good at going second because they could pull out their guys and shoot up all those armies. It was a fun tournament. I liked it. I'm not sure if I'll be playing AdMech next year. I think I'm going to bring out my Orcs and give them a try for a tournament. But with these new changes, I would most definitely be throwing AdMech at some tournaments along the way to LVO. Their new upgrades from their secondaries, they got a bunch of points increased, so it's still a challenge to get those objectives, but they're worth a lot more points. So that's my biggest takeaway from LVO and doing AdMech. A lot of great players out there, but AdMech were definitely not on top this LVO. They really got hurt this year, and the damage control that they got at the last update did not come in time. So that's my take on LVO. I love going there. I recommend anyone who wants to give it a go for it. There's lots of great players out there. It was really fun. 6 games back to back. Really fun.